Hi, welcome. My name is Chris Turner. I'm the CEO and Director of Training and Development for Radical Transformation, LLC. Today I'd like to talk to you about a 10-step model that I put together many years ago to help people when they're in the process of learning about lean principles and how to apply them into the workplace. The reason I put the 10-step model together was because it shows clearly how everything really is interrelated and how things connect together. We don't necessarily do a good job of that in the early stages when people are really trying to get their head around lean principles, tools and techniques, etc. So the 10-step model really kind of brings everybody's focus into where they need to be, what they need to do next. So let me take you through the 10 steps to become a lean enterprise, which is what I created and which I use in much of my training anywhere that I'm working with clients. Number one, step one, strategy deployment, or Hoshinkanri, whichever you prefer to call it. This is getting the company to focus on where they really need to put their energies and put their resources. Step two is value stream mapping. Once they've decided what areas of the organization that they're going to work with in step one, they need to then start to map it and get down to the tactical level of where everything starts to happen, where the rubber meets the road. That's where production, processes, everything gets involved. Step three is workplace organization. This includes 5S, visual controls, etc. Step four is process flow. This is where we start looking at the actual design of the work area to start to improve it and start using techniques such as 3P, etc. Step five, this is where we start to do quick changeovers, to start to reduce the changeover times, because until we can do that, a lot of production organizations, production companies can't really build in the flexibility into their systems because they're still batching due to long changeover times. Number six, step six, is to implement a pull system, because once we've started to move away from batching, we can start to implement a better, more visual control using Kanban, etc. Step seven is then to look at balancing the workload. And when I talk about workload, I'm talking about two things: work scheduling, which is how we put work into the production process, and also work content, which is what each of the operators will have to do to perform their job. And we need to balance both of those out to smooth out any irregularities. Number eight, step eight, is standardized work. As now we've reached a level at step eight where we can start to identify the best practices, and in doing this we actually then decide to create a level of consistency and repeatability by standardizing or documenting the best practices and making them visually available to everybody. Step nine is continuous process improvement, which includes kaizen. And the reason I put this at step nine rather than earlier on in the steps is because by the time you've reached this level, you're really needing some deeper levels of problem solving rather than the usual 5 whys and stuff that we do in the typical 3 to 5 day kaizen. And finally, step 10, lean supply chain. This is where we move our focus from the internal processes within an organization to the external supply chain, which includes suppliers and customers. We need to get the parts and materials from the suppliers in the best possible way that we can, and also deliver them to the customer to improve delivery time. So we need to work with both parties to really get the best system that's going to work for all involved in that supply chain. And that's step 10, lean supply chain. So anyway, that's a 10-step model to become a lean enterprise, and that's what I use as an initial set-off to get everybody focused in the right direction when I'm actually putting the training programs together. If you really want to see more about this, then I suggest you visit my website, which is leancertificationonline.com, and there you'll get more information and a lot more in-depth detail about what I've just explained. So I hope you enjoyed this video. See you next time.